movement from on-prem to Azure, right? For this, we need to capture this metadata information also, right? Right? To achieving entire this scenario, right? We need to add the multiple activities. One of the first activities, lookup activity. Lookup. Lookup. Anyone, any idea about lookup? General meaning of lookup? Lookup. Lookup.
What data we are stored in our source? Just we know the which data it is stored.
Right. Right.
It's a comparison, Shravan, source and destination.
Good. Good. Yes. Good. Yes. 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 Okay. Right. Here I am adding the lookup activity. It is one of the topmost activity and interview question also. And every project there, if you're handling the data movement from especially SQL related data, so this lookup activity is going to help to give our metadata information, mainly to handle the metadata information from the SQL side. So we need a lookup activity. So right. So we have Azure SQL. Azure SQL having the metadata table, right? Metadata table. Our intention is while moving the data from source to destination, so we are going to capture the metadata information, right? How many tables are copied successfully? How many tables are not copied with a failed mode or success mode, right? We need to track those information, right? So how we are going to track those information with the help of lookup activity, right? Right. First we are in, let me add the lookup activity. So if you select, for example, my mouse cursor is there in this activity. That's why you are able to see the highlight color, right? Right. Whatever you are able to see this white space, right? Right. The white space name is called canvas. Click on canvas, right? Right. You can able to identify the color. Right now I'm in canvas. If you click on this activity, it will be highlighted as blue color, thick blue color, right? If you want to change, here we have the general settings, user properties. General settings, user properties. General means if you want to give the any name for your activity, yes, you can give this your name here. Okay, lookup underscore activity, right? Lookup underscore activity, general. So whatever the options which is highlighted, the star mark means it is a mandatory. Scroll up, slowly scroll up. Yes. Here scroll down, active, inactive, timeout. This is the default timeout, right? This lookup activity is going to get the information from the Azure SQL metadata, right? Right. If, for example, if metadata table is not available, or there is an issue, something, right? So we need to specify some default timeout, right? Okay, right. If you want to retry, for example, if it is a lookup activity is unable to get the metadata information from the Azure SQL, right? Right. I want to retry the multiple times. Maybe SQL, maybe there is a firewall issue, there is a connectivity issue, so something backend, any patchings, updates happening. We don't know, right? I want to give some retry 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, right? If you want, you can give the retry, right? Even retry interval seconds also. First in retry, it will take 30 minutes, 30 seconds, or 1 minute, right? Second 30, fourth 30, like that. Right. Next settings. It's asking the source data set. So we need to create a dedicated data set for lookup activity in real time. Definitely every project we are going to maintain the dedicated data set for dedicated activities. For example, if there is a activity is expecting data set, definitely we need to create dedicated data set, right? Even though one data set is going to satisfy the multiple activities, but we need to create the individual activity for each and every we need to create the individual data set for each and every activity, because maybe there is for example, I have a one data set. Same data set I'm using lookup activity and copy activity under the source. But maybe in future there is a I'm going to change the either copy source side or else other place, but it will be impacted to two places, right? So for this reason, we need to create dedicated data set for dedicated activity, right? Already we have source and sink. Source, our source on-prem. Yes, okay, we already created. Sink, ADLS Gen 2. Storage account ADLS Gen 2. Under we have raw layer. Our destination is sink. Now it is lookup activity means we are going to retrieve the metadata information from the Azure SQL, right? For this, we need to create dedicated data set for the Azure SQL. Okay. Click either you can create the data set here or else you can create the data set here also, right? Click on plus new option. Again, it will be redirect to create the data set. Create the data set, or else if you want, you can create the data set here as well. Here as well. Click on new data set. Again, it will be redirect to same page, right? Same page. You can create the data set here, or else you can create the data here as well. Click on new. Let me search the Azure SQL. Yes, SQL database, because lookup activity is going to help to retrieve the metadata information from the Azure SQL. Okay, right. Okay, Azure SQL, we have already created table. The table we are already having the information, it having some insert data. We are also having the uh, procedure, everything have, but Azure Data Factory don't know, right? Don't know, right? So we need to tell to Data Factory, hey, Data Factory. So whatever we are capturing the information, we are planning to maintain those information into the Azure SQL. For this reason, we are going to create the lookup activity. This lookup activity is going to help to tell to the Azure Data Factory. Okay, right. Click on SQL database. Okay, let me give the naming conventions here. DS, dataset, Azure SQL, Azure SQL. Which activity we are talking about? Lookup activity. Try to give the naming convention. Okay, DS Azure dataset Azure SQL lookup activity. Linked service, linked service, right? So we need to create the dedicated linked service for Azure SQL as well, right? Let me cancel it, discard the changes. Let me go to the manage tab. Let me create one linked service for Azure SQL. Azure SQL. Okay. Click on Azure SQL. We are following the flow, guys. Integration run. The first step is integration runtime. Integration runtime. Link. Next step is linked service. Linked service going to depends upon the integration runtime. Right? Data set is depends upon the linked service. Linked service depends upon the integration runtime. Okay. Pipelines depends upon the data sets. Okay. Activity depends upon the pipeline. Pipeline depends upon the linked data sets. Data sets depends upon the linked service. Linked service depends upon the integration runtime. So every activity, every component, there is a dependency. Click on Azure SQL. Click on continue. Click on continue. Let me give the naming convention here. ls underscore Azure SQL. Azure SQL. Azure SQL. Right? Scroll up. Scroll down. Sorry. Let me select the self-IR. This SQL database also having the password, right? Right. So before that, let me go to this Azure SQL. This Azure SQL having the connection string, means it is having sensitive information, passwords and connection string both, right? Let me copy this connection string. Connection string mandatory, guys. SQL, right? Why we are maintaining the connection string means definitely this SQL is going to our application team, application which is developed by any programming language, either Java, .NET, or Ruby, PyParts, Ruby or Perl also, right? Right? So while developing the application, so with therefore programming language only, we are going to develop the application. But backend we have the database. That application, whatever we are handling the data we are going to store into the database. This connection string is going to help to communicate with the database and application. For example, if you are working on a .NET based application, ADO.NET connection string is dedicated to for .NET application to connect your .NET front end C# to back end SQL connection string. Okay, if you are handling with any Java, PHP, something. Okay, let me copy the ADO.NET SQL authentication. This one, copy, paste here, paste here. I need to modify this connection string because this connection string, if you see this connection string, right, server TCP, our server name is on-prem server database ADF, our server name, right? And 1433 SQL. By default, SQL port number is 1433. A Windows server default port number is 3389. A Linux default port number 22. Right? There is a default port numbers, dedicated default port numbers available. Right? SQL default port number is 1433. Right? Initial catalog testdb. Our database name is testdb, right? Testdb, right? Testdb only. Next. Here we are giving the user ID Shravan. Password is, we need to specify the password here. Okay, next we have the options, time mode issue, something. I just copy this connection string and paste into my notepad. So I need to update my password here. Before pasting this connection string into the keyword, I need to update my password. Let me give the password. Instead of this your password, remove it and give your password. Azure at 1, 2, 3. Let me copy this connection string. Right. Let me jump into the keyword. Yes. Right now I am in keyword. Let me create this option. Secret scope. Azure SQL connection string. Let me paste that secret here. Create. Right. We are successfully stored our connection string into the keyword Azure SQL connection string. Okay. Let me go back to the data factory. Right. Let me select the keyword. Okay. Click on the keyword input service. Let me refresh the secret names. Right. Let me select the Azure SQL connection string. This is the one. We need to select. We have different types of authentication mode available. Right. Let me select SQL only. Click on text connection. Yes, connection successfully. Create. Okay. Right. Any questions so far? In real time, definitely, if you go for any project, you can able to see the multiple linked service, multiple data sets, multiple pipelines. Okay. Right. Let me go back and create the data set for the Azure SQL. Click on Azure SQL database. Click on continue. Let me give the naming convention DS dataset. Azure SQL underscore lookup activity, right? This data set is which is dedicated to only lookup activity. Let me select the linked service. Yes, linked service. Even though if you are creating the data set, definitely we need to give the linked service. Linked service mandatory per data set. Okay, right. Finally, it's showing us table name. Click on this drop down. Yes, we are able to see our table name. Right, dbo.metadata. Right, our table name is dbo.metadata. Metadata, right? DBO means it is a schema. DBO, database object. Every table having the schema, guys. DBO is the default schema. DBO is the default schema. If you are earlier, we are not specifying any schema name. That's why automatically take it it's give the DBO schema. If you have any custom schema, sales underscore LT, custom underscore LT, like the way you have the schema, you just give it. Right? DBO means database object. It is the default schema. It is the default schema. Right. Okay. Click on OK. Click on OK. Right. Let me go back to the pipeline. Select the lookup activity. Scroll up. Click on settings. Whatever we just created earlier, the data set, right? Earlier data set, right? Earlier data set. Okay. Let me select the data set under this drop down option. Right? We are able to see the multiple data set, right? Let me select the proper one. This is the one, right? Azure SQL lookup activity. Scroll up. Okay. So we are able to see the multiple options. Open, new, preview data, first row only, use query table, query procedure. We have three options. Right? We have the use query, under the use query, we have three options: table, query, store procedure. Table, query, store procedure. Okay, right. Here I'm, as of now today, I'm going to just select the query part, query, right? I need to write one query here. I need to write one query here, right? I need to write one query here. So my query is, so select star from metadata. Select star from metadata, right? Our table name is metadata, right? Metadata. Select star from metadata where status not equal to success. Select star from metadata where our column name is status, right? If you specify the where condition, right, we are going to filter the data. Means we are going to specify the column level data, right? Here I am specifying the select star from metadata where status, where status, where status not equal to, okay, success. Okay, success. Let me run this query. Yes, we are able to see this data because, so here I'm not specifying the equal condition. Here I'm specifying the not equal condition. Not means other than success, is there any tab, is there any status available, right? It will be displayed. It will be displayed. If you specify the equal, if you specify the equal, and instead of success, let me give the ready. Run this query, execute. We are able to see the ready. We are able to see the status as ready. It is a equal means condition successed, right? Whatever the status having this ready, right, it will display. But here I am giving the, instead of equal, I am specifying the not equal. Instead of equal, I am specifying the not equal. It is a not equal operator. It is a not equal operator. Right? Let me give the, if I run this query means what happened? Execute, right? It does not display anything because here we are specifying the not equal, right? Not equal. Hope you guys understand, right? Equal and not equal. Equal means condition we are meet. Not equal means we are not meeting the, as the status contain the status. Here I am giving the status not equal to, not equal. Let me give the success to, because this status column does not contain any successed columns, right? Successed columns, right? That's why display the ready. It is a not equal. If it is equal, so you need to specify the ready or else failed. Whatever the status having the ready mode, success mode or failed mode, you need to specify in this place. All right. Let me execute this condition, right? It will give this ready status only. because this table does not contain any success status, right? Guys, hope you are following or not. Please let me know. This table does not contain any status as success. That's why it will give the status as ready only. It is a not equal to operator. Please try to understand. It is not. It is not a equal operator. It is a not equal to operator. That's why it is giving the status as ready. Yes or no, or understood, or any still, if you have any doubt,
So understood.
any blank mind.
So understood.
Okay, right. Let me copy this query. Paste the same query here. Paste the same query here. Okay. In top, there is option called preview data. Any questions? Right. Right. In the top, there is option called preview data. Preview data. Any questions? If you have any questions, please ask me. Otherwise, please mute. Okay, right. Okay, right. Here, there is an option called preview data. Right? Preview data. Right? Click on preview data. Right? We are able to see the data, but it will show only one record only. Right? It will display the one record only. Means one cust 0 ready. Sorry. Right? This table having the cust order CMP discounts, but it will display the only first record. It will display the first record. The reason is there is option called first row only. If you specify the first row means here we have the multiple rows, right? Right? This is the one row, second row, third row, fourth row. So if you select the first row only option means it will give the only first record only. Click on this, uncheck this option. Click on the preview data again. Yes, finally we are able to see all the data. Right? We are able to see all the information. Whatever we see in the SQL, right? Same thing we are seeing in this place. Okay. Right. Okay. Right. Right. Scroll down. Scroll down. Let me click on the debug. We'll see the output for this lookup activity. Lookup activity. Okay. Debug. We'll see. Right. Right. Status successed. This is the one input, guys. This is the one is output. Whatever we are giving the input, right? Those information which is available at here. We are passing our input as select star from metadata where status not equal to successed. Not equal to successed. Let me check the output. Here it will display the count 4. Count 4. How many tables are available? Here, 4 tables, cust order EMP discounts, right? It will display the our count is 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Count 4. Count 4, right? It will display the values. Value means customer table, customer record is 1 value. Orders value 1 record, one orders record 1 value. EMP value is EMP record is 1 value. Discounts is one of the discount is one of the record. It is a value, right? Value, value, customer value, orders value, employee value, discount value. right? Okay. Source folder name customer. Source folder name customer. Whatever we gave this insert statement, right? Right? Source folder name, customer, storage path, customer, is active 0, ready. Whatever we given at the time of running this metadata table, right, into the Azure SQL, those information it will be displayed. Source folder name, customer, storage path, customer. Okay. Is active 0, is active 0, status ready, status ready. Any questions here? Let me copy this entire, see this guys, this data which is available in the form of JSON, JavaScript object notation, JSON. Okay, copy this output. Let me paste this output in Notepad++. If you have any questions, please let me know, guys. Okay, right? Close, close, yes. One of the activity we just run successfully. Okay, it will display the whatever we are giving the information from the source, right? So our Azure SQL, right, to capture the metadata information. Lookup activity is going to fulfill the to capture the metadata information from the Azure SQL side or Synapse side or database side, right? Okay, hope you guys are got it how lookup activity is going on.